Some people say gay people can't be good parents. To that I say, what makes a straight person a good parent? So let's watch my favorite Robin Williams movie, The Birdcage. The film starts off with this impressive long shot over the sea and into the club known as the Birdcage. In there we see a drag performance, lip-syncing to the song We Are Family, which is a perfect song for this film. Then we are introduced to Armand, the owner of the Birdcage, who looks the other way with food dropped on the ground being put back on the plate. Gross.
Armand, the Kennedys are here again for supper. Third time this week. You want to pick up their tab?
Ted?
No, just the younger ones.
Wish we could get Ted. Give him a free round of coffee.
We can say one thing for sure. RFK Jr. isn't there. We actually get a brief shot of what it's like backstage at this show, and it's 100% realistic to being behind the scenes at a drag show. Also, that's not her costume. Unfortunately, racism is still somewhat embedded into some people's drag. The act isn't any better. Anyways, Starina, Armand's partner, is not getting ready to go on stage. And we are introduced to Agador, a Guatemalan housekeeper played by Hank Azaria. What is it with Hank Azaria and playing people of different races? She thinks Armand is cheating on her, which the film does make it seem that way at first. And yes, I am going to be using she, her pronouns for her when she's in drag or partial drag. While she is a man, most drag queens use she, her pronouns regardless of gender. However, I will be using he, him pronouns to refer to Albert when he is out of drag, since that's what other characters refer to him with. Hopefully that makes sense. Starina feels underappreciated for reasons that will become clearer later.
Don't use that tone to me.
What tone?
That sarcastic, contemptuous tone that means you know everything because you're a man and I know nothing because I'm a woman.
You're not a woman.
Oh, you bastard.
From now on, when a transphobe says that I'm not a woman, I'm gonna reply with, oh, you bastard. Agador also apparently gives her pills, which are just aspirin pills, but that doesn't mean it's safe. Don't play with drugs, even aspirin. Unlike RuPaul's Drag Race, this show actually has drag kings. Overall, they actually show a realistic drag show. Drag shows aren't this big scary thing that warps the minds of the youth. It's just a fun show.
When you gonna let me audition for you again?
When you have talent. Now take that wig off or I'll tell Albert you're wearing it.
If you do that, I'm gonna tell him that you've seen somebody else while he's on the stage.
I have 2 words for you. Green card.
Armand's kind of a
That's it to everybody.
Well, at least I'm not the only one to think so. Then we're introduced to the man Armand is seeing. His son.
Something to drink? Beer if you have it?
This shows 2 things. 1, Armand lets his underage son drink. And 2, his son is straight. See, gay parents don't make their kids gay.
I'm getting married. I didn't want to tell you over the phone. It's a girl.
What did I tell you? So Val's tried to get his father's blessing by sweet-talking him, but his father understandably has concerns since he's 20. Armand has some reservations, but supports his son. A great father. Unfortunately, he's engaged to the daughter of a conservative senator. So conservative, he has a picture of him with Nixon. Her name is Barbara, which sounds awfully familiar. Also, they're both tested for STIs, which I encourage all of you beautiful people to do. It saves lives. Barbara says his father is the cultural attaché to Greece, and they live in South Beach, which makes me sad. Because Ron DeSantis doesn't know his own state's history. Probably because all the bands. After the show, Armand shares that Val has come home, and we see Val's room. Yep, that's definitely the room of a heterosexual boy. This film is showing yet again that, of course, gay parents don't make their kids gay. Which is weird that some people still believe that.
Val's getting married.
Don't be silly. I got a pork roast for dinner. I wanted to get filet mignons, but they're so expensive. Married? What do you mean married?
You know what I mean.
I don't understand.
Yes, you do.
No.
Some girl he met at school.
Oh, no. But he's just a baby. He's too young. He'll ruin his life.
Which also shows that Albert is a concerned father too. I also like the gender dynamic here. Typically, you expect parents of a daughter to be more protective, but they're showing the same concern for him, as they should. Also, Val drinks OJ right out of the jug. Gross. Albert was there for him too. And he treats him like his other parent, as he should. He is his other father.
You are the father!
We learned that Barbara's father is a senator from Ohio. Put a pin in that for later. Then the senator finds out his political partner and founder of the Coalition for Moral Order has died in the bed of an underage sex worker. You can imagine how controversial this would be for a Republican. Surprisingly, people actually care about this. Meanwhile, Albert is looking through Val's photo album. He's crying because Val is his son. It doesn't matter who the biological parent is or their sex. It's about love. Barbara's parents are too obsessed with the scandal to pay attention. Parents sign off on the marriage to boost her father's image with the public. Meanwhile, Albert and Armand, who already face societal judgment for being gay men, are more focused on Val's well-being. An argument could be made that queer parents might better understand the struggles of their children because they have faced societal judgment themselves. So Barbara's parents want to go down to meet the family in Florida, and we see a drag rehearsal.
I saw that. Well, this is impossible. Either I'm an artist or I'm just some cheap drag queen playing it straight so he can get laughs.
Let's just try and get through it.
Well, you always ask so much of me. I have to understand every nuance of a song. I have to give a full-out performance, but everyone else can just get through it. I mean, he's chewing gum.
This is very realistic to being a drag performer. There's a lot of practice that goes into it, and one of the biggest challenges to drag, in my case, is finding that line between campy and serious. Not only that, one of the big reasons to rehearse in costume is to know your costume. It's a very different experience performing in and out of drag. Also, we see Robin Williams' phenomenal improv on full display.
You do an eclectic celebration of the dance. You do Fussy, Fussy, Fussy. You do Martha Graham, Martha Graham, Martha Graham. Or Twyla, Twyla, Twyla. Or Michael Kidd, Michael Kidd, Michael Kidd, Michael Kidd. Or Madonna, Madonna, Madonna. But you keep it all inside.
Barbara's father is a senator. He's a conservative senator, and he's running for re-election. And she told him, well, she told him that you were the cultural attaché to Greece, and Albert was a housewife.
What?
She had to. He's a founder of the Coalition for Moral Order.
I don't care who he is. I don't want to be somebody else. Do you want me to be someone else?
No, of course not. I mean, neither does she. But he, Dad, he's Kevin Keeley.
Who's Kevin Keeley?
Do you ever read the newspapers?
Of course I do. Variety, The Star, the Arts and Leisure section of the New York Times.
Frankly, I think this is one of the biggest things about this film that's changed with time. Every queer person I know is politically involved in some way because we have to. Pretty much he's marrying Ted Cruz's daughter, despite having two dads.
Ugh. My first day at Edison Park, you remember what you told me?
No.
You said if Miss Donovan asked me what my father does for a living, I should say he's a businessman.
Well, you were a baby, and Miss Donovan was a small-minded idiot. I didn't want you to get hurt. It's different now. You're a man.
This is the dichotomy of being queer. We have to hide ourselves and yet be authentic. Val tells his father that he needs to get rid of a few things and send Albert away. So the press has swarmed Senator Keeley's home. The National Enquirer reporter bribes the driver to see where they're going. When I think of the National Enquirer, I don't think of hard-hitting journalism. And the Armand agrees to get rid of anything flamboyant, including Albert, which is obviously a bad idea. Albert had the idea to be Al's uncle, but Armand tells him he can't play it straight. While this scene is about stereotypes, I think it's one of the funniest scenes in any movie ever. I don't want to show you. Just go ahead and watch it.
Dad, could we hire, say, a straight maid for tonight?
Val is being an asshole, so Armand lets Albert stay, and this is undeniably challenging. Now you might be asking, why doesn't Albert just go to dinner and drag? Well, would it be authentic to him? Drag is his persona, not himself.
What we really need is a woman. We can get away with Albert as an uncle if we had a woman as a mother. Ironic, isn't it, when you need a woman? Why don't I just ask your mother?
My mother? What are you talking about? My mother wouldn't do it. Would she?
They are literally trying to incorporate the woman that abandoned Val over his father. If that's not a condemnation of homophobia, I don't know what is. Armand and Albert go to see Catherine, Val's biomom, and Albert waits in the waiting room. Val came about because Armand wanted to try sleeping with the woman at least once. And of course, it gets awkward at the reunion.
Where did all this hair come from? Hmm? Wasn't your chest smooth?
Well, I shaved it for the show. I wanted to look so young.
Oh, it's so much nicer this way. So much more masculine. So much hair. Come on, let me touch it. Ooh, look what a beautiful chain. Look how it glitters in that thick black nest of hair. Come on, unbutton your shirt.
Please be
I
careful.
wanna
That's
touch your
silk.
chest. Your beautiful
Careful, you
hairy
pulled thread.
chest.
Catches them and leaves. He clearly feels unwanted. Agador finds a crucifix because it will seal the deal. Also, what's their plan for after dinner? Hide Albert and the rest of their stuff forever? And then we get a touching scene where Armand declares his love for Albert and gives him a palimony agreement. Basically, it's the equivalent of an alimony agreement before marriage equality. And so they get ready. I can definitely relate to Albert. There's a reason I basically live in drag full time. Agador also doesn't wear shoes, so Val decides to be an asshole to him.
Is this Val?
Yeah.
Val, I want you to know how happy I am that I can do this for you.
She is only his mother in the biological sense. She is not his real mother.
So this is hell. And there's a crucifix in it.
Yep, that sounds like hell for me. And dinner starts with everyone calling Agador by his full name.
Such a responsibility. 2 houses. How long ago did you buy this one?
About 15 years ago. Of course, the area was mostly Jewish then.
Really? Oh, Barbara was telling us it was mostly sand.
Yes. Well, you know the old saying, where there's sand.
All my Jewish friends love this joke. Frankly, there's some truth to it. And of course, Catherine is stuck in traffic. This is good comedy and drama. Coincidences are good if it creates conflict or sets up the story, but not if it solves the problems. And the senator tells a boring story like he's on the campaign trail.
We decided to drive down to see the seasons change. It was a long trip, though. Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia. But it's just so magical. Virginia has amazing foliage. Although I do think that Pennsylvania's nice, too.
Let's give her half an hour, and then, if she isn't...
Here I am!
Oh, it's so nice to meet you, Mrs. Coleman.
Goldman.
I thought the D was silent.
It is pronounced Coleman, isn't it? We've had some confusion.
Oh, yes, Coleman. The D is silent in America. It's Col d'Ilomont, or Col of the Isle of Man in France, where Armand's chateau is, and Coldeman in Greece, where Armand's work is, and finally the vulgar Coleman in Florida, where Armand's home is. So actually, we don't know where we are until we hear our last name pronounced.
My god, this is comedy gold. Heterosexuals will believe almost anything.
It's just so odd to me, this fuss over school prayer. As if anyone, Jews, Muslims, whatever, would mind if their children prayed in the classroom.
I don't have a problem with people who pray or praying in schools, but I don't want school staff to be leading a prayer.
There's an idiotic issue. Gays in the military. I mean, those haircuts, those uniforms. Who cares?
No, you shouldn't be talking about things you don't know about.
Val, don't patronize your mother. She's an amazingly intelligent woman. You know, I think homosexuality...
Lot more ice for you. Lots more ice, Dad.
One of the things that's weakening this country.
Really? You know, that's what I thought until I found out Alexander the Great was a talk about gays in the military.
She has a point. Who knows? That might be a convincing argument.
I think we're skirting an issue here that has Mr. Coleman very nervous, and I don't blame him. I know you've heard the terrible news about Senator Jackson, how he died.
I love how this didn't even cross their mind.
Oh, that. Yes. What an ugly story. Of course, We don't believe a word of it.
What do you mean?
He was obviously framed, and I, for one, would like an autopsy.
Mom, that's just what Rush Limbaugh said.
If this movie were being made today, who would the pundit be? Let me know in the comments.
So in other words, Goldman owns the club, and lives above it, and owns the building, and he's gay. We are in Enquirer heaven.
It's very weird to see the National Enquirer have legitimate journalists. Now, I don't want to spoil the dinner scene. Again, go watch it. After this video, of course. And she loses her wig. What? It happened.
Hello? I'm home. I forgot my key.
Who is it?
It's Val's mother, Mrs. Goldman.
Exactly how many mothers does your son have?
What?
Well, this woman has just introduced herself as Val's mother. How many mothers does Val have?
Just one. This is my mother.
Be proud of where you come from.
I just want to say, Mr. and Mrs. Whatever your name is, I hope this doesn't influence your vote.
They don't live in Ohio, dumbass. However, the press showed up and they have to find a way out. So they escape in drag as We Are Family plays. Something that Republicans still find controversial. Gay families in drag. A perfect bookend to the film. And the film finally ends with an interfaith wedding. I love this movie, and I also make an extended version of this video on Patreon with stuff I can't talk about on YouTube. And a special thank you to my patrons. Without you, this video couldn't have been possible. So head on over if you want to see that. But if you can't do that, please like, comment, subscribe, and watch my video on Mrs. Doubtfire.